Calm, you have so much to be proud and confident about in your career. Literally one of the few people that can call themselves a Valorant champion. So what do you feel like you are bringing to the table when joining FURIA to help turn things around?
I think what I bring is like a bigger voice. I've always been like a big communicator. Also, like I've always been someone who wants to set up their teammates as much as I possibly can. Honestly, this team in the few days we've been practicing has made it super easy for me. So I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, just experience in general.
Yeah, love that. Big team player. Good luck today.
I would agree that that is a big difference between the two, is that EU is a guy that you set up and Com's the guy that sets up others. So maybe that's got something to do with it. But one thing is for sure, this is a really big gamble that FURIA are making just on their champs point. Yeah, and seeing again the chiz up. Oh, they're up against NRG again here. They're ready to face off. We'll see what the result of this change ends up being. VCT Americas starts right now.
They're definitely an insane team, but I really think we can beat them. You can't lose all because it's NRG. This group is very stacked, and you know, if we want to make chance, we have to win.
Scuba again takes point at first contact, but now the time pressure gives Scuba the opening he was looking for.
I think overall for the FURIA matchup, they keep making a lot of roster changes, so I'm just focused more on our team and us improving.
They're a good team. They're a pretty slow team. They like to play pretty methodical. I think we'll work better into a team like that.
I know Shy. I played against him a couple times in my career, and every time he's destroyed me. He's one of those players, like, if he gets going, he's very scary to play against. Now, I think I'm a lot more confident going up against anyone after being the world champ, so I'm not thinking about it too much.
All right, so FURIA versus NRG here. We've got rid of the Brits. Now we can take care of business here on the desk before we jump into things. We still have maps, we still have agents to work through, so buckle up, folks, and we'll get you ready and primed for this first match.
Yeah, if we're talking about the map select, thing that is interesting to me, both these teams came out, played one of the new additions to the pool, and both looked like experts on it. You saw that amazing Sunset 13-1 victory for FURIA against the champions of Masters London. And of course, we just talked a lot about NRG's Summit. So my question is, does either of these teams want to take a crack at banning that map from their opponent? Or do we see some chance to get a new look at countering on that second showing?
Yeah, it'll be interesting, because I believe in FURIA's last series that was floated, and the Summit was, as a matter of fact, into the second phase. Didn't end up coming through in the end. But they were willing to see if that would be picked in it at the end of the day. I'm also just interested to see, like, I feel like NRG sort of skated by. Like, it would be a completely different situation for them had they just lost that second map of Breeze, right? If they lose Pistol Round, all of a sudden we're kind of, maybe we're a little bit doomy about NRG. It's like, wow, they just got absolutely hammered 2-0'd. It would be a whole different story here.
It would be, and luckily for them, they're choosing to ban away one of the maps that they did get hammered on by MIBR. That's a Sunset that looked excellent for their opponent, banned out. And interestingly, FURIA chooses to take us to Summit. As a reminder, this was a completely dominant victory last week against MIBR on that map for NRG. We are yet to see it for FURIA. That's a really interesting one in the pool, and I think it's a must-win for FURIA, considering in my mind how good NRG has been on this Breeze. It's been one of their best maps for some time now, in my opinion, so this to me looks like it could backfire if that Summit isn't fully up to snuff for FURIA in map 2.
Yeah, we'll see how much FURIA can do to punish NRG on the defense, because the defense side is where NRG completely fell apart in that series last week versus MIBR. Then on the attack, they looked absolutely lights out. FURIA, this isn't a map they played a ton of, just a couple times so far this year. Not very recently either. So see what options they have to try and knock down NRG.
It was one of the main maps they were finding success with very early in the year when they went on that run in kickoff to qualify to Santiago. And I think when you're talking about their successes back then, you have to look at Koala. He's always incredible when he gets to lock in this jet. This has been one of his best individual maps, but it's exactly the same for the Brit on the other side with Kiko, who we were doing a little game to pick the roles. and we ended up with Kiko on the Duelist. And if
Yeah.
every map was like Breeze, I would be happy with it, because I think not only is he great on that role, but Mata and the way he plays Harbor has continued to impress me here on Breeze.
Yeah, Motto will often end up being the second entry, and he's good, but the Samsung OLED match start is ready to take us into the game now. There's a little fight over mid on the cards. NRG held at bay for just a moment by the knife, while FURIA filter in on the A main.
But they're already re-clearing, getting information out towards mid, and will be set up to flood back into this A site once presence is known.
So odd, Shy's position, just hanging out back in spawn. If NRG overextended to go for the flank, he's in a prime position to punish.
If he gets a pick, figures this out, it's huge. If he just dies, this round turns into a nightmare for FURIA.
Got 8 sheriffs in the lobby right now, and already one of them going to work. Shy gets a tag on an extra player before dropping himself. So now FURIA, well aware of the flank. The new player, Calm, wearing the FURIA jersey, now ready to receive 2 players. Out into the open and down immediately. Scuba gives a unwelcoming hello to Calm, as now FURIA are forced to play very deep on site. Really uncomfortable for them now, with Artson pushed up all the way. Now 2 players stepping in through the wall, but they're just seeing a whole lot of blue right now. The Harbor utility is everywhere, and so are FURIA. Basic with 2 himself, and there's not a lot of time left for Mata. He'll hit the floor as FURIA take this pistol.
That was a really awkward round in the end after that flank fight goes 1 for 1, and NRG has this squeeze. FURIA make exactly the right reaction though, flipping the map and fighting back site. But what I'd like to see from them was that they didn't overcommit to rushing into that fight towards CT. Instead, they just got their own Harbor wall up, held close, and then had players in these great positions within the Harbor utility, ready to answer as soon as that retake came in.
NRG a little bit slow to work on the retake and figure out where those FURIA members were going to be posted up. So now FURIA, with a lighter purchase, all things considered, holding on to a couple of sheriffs. So once again, Shy just patrols back in spawn, realizes pretty quickly that NRG are just full steam ahead here, so he tries to box himself in with an orb and the snake bite, and that's exactly where he's going to find Ethan. Ethan, the absolute madman, was just jumping on into the green. And Shy, once again, good for 1. This time adds a second. And Calm will come to support. As NRG find themselves scattered.
Yeah, nice cleanup for FURIA. A lot of stall time bought out there. NRG in both these rounds early on have shown us really grouped up, aggressive looks. Something I'll be watching throughout this map is the approaches that NRG have to mid on their defensive side. I think that's been one of their biggest strengths in this map. They really put a priority on either embedding Kiko or sometimes Mata deep bottom mid early in their rounds, and then being able to almost always play the flood retake through that space. I think that's one of the key areas of the map that I want to see FURIA looking to disrupt, and especially want to see Shy finding success in. He had a pretty rough debut in the FURIA jersey last week after historically being one of the best players when he was sporting the colors for Crew. Hoping to see more from him in this match today.
And especially seeing him activate on the lurks eventually. Right now,
That bitch. Goodbye.
he's out of there. Shy usually one to be a little bit more aggressive on the lurks. We'll see if he gets to activate on those later. As right now, FURIA just might be sending it over on the B site. Already threw down the Viper wall for it, waiting for this long knife to land. Spots no one on elbow, so that might signal to them FURIA might be thinking the hold is stronger here, actually on the B side itself, so they don't go forward with it.
It's big news for Scuba. He would have been all alone if this hit had come to fruition. Now NRG look to re-explore mid a bit, just jiggle that space.
Are we getting a lineup for where we're going to hold this angle? Shy looking at the floor there. Getting everything in proper order.
Artson's been holding outside of A, but you see Kiko on this forward line himself.
Yeah.
Calling back here. There will be a pretty quick rotation from Ethan, and I think his knife is going to come back online here pretty soon.
Yeah, we can track that. See if Ethan can be a factor here. This knife comes down, but FURIA are keeping it quiet behind. Just shifting forward. Kiko spots the flash and dips away. Primed and ready to line them up. 3 in the blink of an eye for Kiko. The duelist just slinks on back, holds the line, waits for another challenger to approach, and that challenger will drop too. absolute perfection. We were saying maybe he needs to call in some assistance. The fast rotates. Nah. Kiko needs absolutely zero help.
And now it's just the lurker left in a 1-on-5. Kiko was so impressive.
10 seconds
And not necessarily just the aim for me that round, but the way that he played around his opponent's utility and was so calm in his approach. First, he's getting pressured with this knife, casually breaks that, dips away. And then he's picking this perfect timing to swing back in and go for that refight after. Not greeting to prime his dash, not greeting to get out that space. Instead, you see here, knowing exactly the right moment to go in.
I think he catches all 3 players with utility out.
He does.
Right? Even the Jet is mid-cloudburst trying to put that down to be in a position to dash out from.
And if he's a second earlier or a second later, he's just cooked in that position.
Just insane. And he goes to that timing off of just seeing the one player a moment before. So NRG have their 1 round on defense. See how much they can work from as this round Kiko works down into mid early on just behind that flash.
These are the mid ideas I was bringing up earlier. NRG love getting him in this power position where he can activate on either side of the map once FURIA show their hand.
Early drone brought out over on the A site. You see Brock sending that to try and see if Shy is up here on the lurk. And that's going to give Shy a lot of confidence. There's no Sentinel utility with NRG's comps. Now no drone. Means he is pretty free to work on this A side of the map.
There's a bit of pressure to re-clear towards mid. That's enough to get Kiko to dash back away into the B site.
And FURIA hearing the Jet go B side. Look like they want to regroup more for an A split. Realizing that could be a little bit light as players are rotating back and forth for NRG.
NRG are playing retake on this side, though. You've already seen those players back away. Now rotates coming in will let them flood this site.
Yeah, they're playing deep site, but not just going to give it for free. And they can just hide behind the enemy Viper wall. Actually, not sure if that pinged anyone.
It got at least one. Such a good timing to use that knife, though. I think Ethan's been on point with that util, but only seeing the Viper, he has to go back check mid. Now they know it's real.
Kiko holds it down. That's 2 immediately. Blocking it up back site as Koala Noob tries to get around the harbor wall, but still utility blocking his path. Just has a little bit of an angle to work with, and he's got his team back into the round, even the score at 3 apiece. The rest of his teammates can fall back into main. Artson has an operator try and hold this angle, so Koala Noob stays forward, and there's Artson covering his teammates back. A great hold as he swaps down into the rifle and back over to the op again. This time he'll be traded out as Koala is just excellent in the back. And the whole time Calm has now been working on his classic flank move. You see Ethan, Vet himself, already well aware what Calm could be thinking. And well aware Calm could be coming all the way around, but it doesn't matter. Calm is back, people, and he's got him in the back.
Christy, why did they pick up Calm? Why did they drop BU? They needed someone that was always going to be flanking.
Yeah, they needed the clutch. They needed the clutch factor. Calm already lecturing. I'm sure he's telling him, you forgot. You forgot about me.
This was a ludicrous round, though. Kiko getting those 2. Looked like it should have been curtains, but Koala does an amazing job in that angle.
Hey, let's go. Come on. I did the thing!
He did it! He did it! Oh my word. Well, that'll let Calm have some fun here as FURIA try to extend their advantage. Rifle round is both teams on heavy light armors. And quick into this A side. Up through the wall, as a matter of fact. Koala Noob sees no fear, but maybe a little bit too aggressive as Brock was there to shut him down. Now the rest of NRG hiding on the left side of that wall. Calm now being asked to plant this spike with heaps of utility being thrown his way. Without the duelist, FURIA trying to feign some kind of aggression behind the wall as it comes down. NRG players not out in the open. So for now, FURIA have a moment to breathe. A slight respite. As the cone comes down onto the spike. Artson's the only real guy that can interrupt this for now. Still, the fights have not been found. FURIA just eating up more and more of this clock. And NRG looking desperate, just sprinting in to Artson's waiting arms. Mata wonders what went wrong as FURIA find their 4th.
That was really such a patient round from both teams at that standoff on the A site for practically 30 seconds as the different waves of utility come in. But what I like from FURIA is that in the midst of that, they're not only properly cycling their utility to make sure they always had something up, blocking that mid angle.
You're insane, man. Nice.
Let's go.
But they're also not letting that pressure push them back into main. In that previous post-plant round, they had done just that. Here they stay. They're ready to continue fighting deep against NRG. It's a really good answer, and it'll force a pretty early timeout from Bonkar.
And this will be necessary because NRG's defense versus MIBR was Swiss cheese. You know, is a pretty good.
They won 2 rounds.
Yeah, it was rough, and right now they're halfway there. But we're trying to see some improvement for them. So
I really like the positive look from you. Thank you.
So what's Bonkar trying to come up with? Like, are we seeing similar problems to that first opener versus MIBR, or are FURIA just finding some new ideas here in the post plant?
Yeah, I think the ideas that FURIA are doing really well is that they're being intentional about what utility they're using at what times in the round.
Sure.
NRG is almost always saving their harbor wall to play these flood retakes while holding space backside. But what FURIA's been doing in most of these rounds is holding on to a lot of their own tools for when that second wave comes up, and instead being able to kind of pick the times that they want to fight later on. So when you're looking at NRG, I think it might just be about changing the timing a little bit on how you're playing these flood rounds. Either trying to go a little bit earlier and play more for the hard anchor, or trying to play more kind of slower set retake ideas. Just varying that pace a bit more. Could be fortuitous for this squad as, well, they're not going to have many tools in this one.
Got some knives for Kiko. That's basically it. Kiko has already started shifting over towards this A side. NRG didn't spot any FURIA players behind the cove early on, but Koala Noob is already up and over this wall. That's a little bit aggressive. And somehow, kill's been donated over. That's going to force the ult to be invested from Artson. Can FURIA actually get through this wall? I suppose Calm can with a good shock dart on the silver counterpart. And now NRG take their time to resettle before the retake.
Yeah, with all their util already falling, they have to play really far back.
A second ultimate on this anti-eco.
That feels like he needs it, but that actually gives them quite a bit of space to get up on this site.
Yeah, that's a third with the knives earlier in the round, too. So much being sent in here, and Artson is just dismantled by utility. Shy got caught out, too. So he's trying to wrap around the other side of his pit, but with early pressure onto the spike, this is going to force FURIA forward. Force them into this pit to look for some kind of a fight. By the way, Calm on the flank. He showed up. That's 3 kills. He rips the Hunter's Fury. He misclicks it.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, man, Calm did so much in this round, the 4K, but that's going to be 4 ultimates spent by FURIA to survive with a single player on the anti-eco.
I really don't love that round for FURIA. I think the biggest mistake was investing that Viper's Pit. When you have rifles against a team that is retaking on only pistols, I think you're making, honestly, a bigger risk when you're creating all these weird, chaotic angles that the Sheriffs can get close and find value. I think the better play is to leave that ult off the table, just fight together backside with the better weapons. But thankfully, even though it cost them everything, they still get the round across.
They do not seem dismayed by any means, and I think nice to see Calm already doing well in a couple of these early rounds. We also heard him talking about how he brings a lot of vocality to the team, and we're going to get to listen to some of that right now.
Blocking fire. Can we scale up with Jenny?
Shield dart. Maybe Opper B.
Yeah. I think Kirby can walk up and like drone for B.
Give me a sec. Listen, let me go towards B. And then, can I get basic as well? Just leave Koala. Let's fake out B a little bit. Let's try to get this knife out.
Yeah, do you guys want to like hit B? I can go up here late?
Yeah, maybe.
There's nothing.
Play off my info.
Got you.
You want to wall? Yeah, fine, Corbin.
Yeah, just wall like this. Wall like this, you see?
Okay.
Alright, ready?
3, 2, 1, all in.
We don't have bomb, by the way, guys. Just careful.
It's alright. Our roll's here.
It's good.
It's good.
Careful mid time.
We're good
That's
right
your second phase. Yeah, second phase.
And stick to this spike, guys.
Yeah, take bomb.
You're going B or going A?
I didn't get hit. Just
yeah, we should re-hit this maybe.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, go back.
I'm gonna do the good dart, okay?
I hear you. I don't have flash. Nice.
No, it's huge. Just come be main. Come be our entry.
They might push this cove here.
Yep. I'll dart site, okay?
Yeah.
30 seconds.
What my
30
side?
We need a 3-2 on the cove.
I'm dashing mid side.
He's close, by the way.
You should all. I'm darting.
Yeah. One close left.
Hit him.
I'm blind.
Left and right.
Half 80. Hit 80. Nice.
You have sight.
I plan.
We have a really late lurk.
Yeah, I see.
10 seconds left.
KO spawn. Dead unknown.
Nothing done. Careful, Frank.
Yeah,
okay,
maybe
bro?
flank. Jets out, Jets out, both.
I call Yank. I
Both
heard